The art of people-pleasing becomes a second language, spoken fluently but with a cost. Each nod, each forced smile, is a transaction where self-worth is bartered for acceptance, and the currency is the self lost in the process. Days are spent in a blur of doing, achieving, maintaining the facade of normalcy. The exhaustion isn't merely physical, it's a soul-deep weariness, a fatigue of the spirit that whispers of how much easier it would be to simply let go. But letting go is a luxury not afforded to everyone. There's a fear that if one string is pulled, the entire will unravel, leaving nothing but the raw, unfiltered truth of who they are beneath the performance. In the quiet spaces between conversations, there is a yearning for someone to see beyond the surface, to recognize the silent shame that festers like an unhealed wound. It's the shame of not being enough, of failing to live up to the expectations woven into every interaction. This silent burden is carried alone, tucked away in the corners of the mind, where it grows heavy with time. The numbness is a protective shield, a way to dull the sharp edges of disappointment and rejection. It's a cocoon that envelopes the heart, making it impervious to both pain and joy. In this gray space, emotions blend into a muted palette, and the vibrancy of life seems just out of reach. The heart beats, but it beats to a rhythm that feels foreign, as if borrowed from someone else's song. As the sun rises, casting its light upon a world that continues to turn, there is a moment of quiet reflection. The mirror reflects a face that has learned to navigate these waters, but the eyes betray a longing for something more. They speak of a desire for freedom, for the courage to step out from behind the mask and into the unknown. But the path remains obscured by the fog of uncertainty. In the stillness of the morning, there is a question that hangs in the air, unspoken yet ever present. It's a question that echoes in the silence, reverberating through the soul with a quiet insistence. What would it mean to truly let go? The answer is a mystery, a thread left untangled, waiting patiently to be unraveled. This isn't about finding a neat resolution or a tidy answer. It's about recognizing that even in the darkest corners of our lives, there is a light that can guide us if we dare to look for it. Imagine being trapped in a cycle of despair, where each day feels like a battle against an invisible force. Yet, somewhere deep inside, there's a whisper, a gentle reminder that perhaps, just perhaps, this pain is not all there is. It's a turning point, not marked by grand gestures or sudden clarity, but by a slow and steady realization that one can be more than their suffering. This isn't about denying the pain, but about acknowledging it as a part of the broader existence. In these moments, when despair threatens to overwhelm, one might catch a glimpse of themselves as they truly are, not defined by their struggles, but shaped by them. There's a profound strength in understanding that while pain is inevitable, the meaning we ascribe to it is our own to create. This is not a journey of solitude, it's a shared experience, echoing through the stories of countless others who have walked similar paths. Consider the moments when you felt most lost, when the weight of expectations and unmet desires seemed too much to bear. What if those moments were not just pits of darkness, but opportunities to rediscover who you are beneath the layers of fear and doubt? It's a subtle shift in perspective, one that doesn't erase the past but reframes it, allowing for growth and transformation. There comes a time when one might stand at the precipice of their own understanding, realizing that the walls they've built to protect themselves have also kept them from experiencing the fullness of life. It's a delicate balance, this dance between holding on and letting go, between protecting oneself and opening up to vulnerability. This journey is not about achieving perfection or finding a cure for human suffering. It's about embracing the complexities of what it means to be alive, to be human. As Viktor Frankl so eloquently suggested, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. It's this search for meaning that transforms despair into hope, isolation into connection. As these thoughts settle and take root, there's a quiet acceptance that begins to form, a gentle acknowledgement that while the path may be fraught with uncertainty, it's also rich with possibility. In this shared experience, there's comfort in knowing that you're not alone, that others too have found strength in the very places they once feared to tread. If these words are helping you name something that's been silent inside you, you're not alone. Join us by subscribing. We're walking this path together. This pause is not about retreating from pain or denying its presence. Rather, it is about acknowledging its role in the symphony of existence. The heart, though tender and bruised, begins to understand that these scars are not merely signs of suffering, but emblems of endurance and growth. In this delicate intermission, the mind starts to weave together fragments of understanding, piecing them into a that speaks of resilience and hope. It's a moment that invites reflection, urging one to look inward with compassion. The narratives we tell ourselves, the stories of inadequacy and loss, begin to lose their grip. There's a gentle unraveling of the fear that binds us, making room for the possibility of stepping forward, even if the path isn't yet clear. In this sacred pause, there is an opportunity to listen, to truly hear the inner voice that has been drowned out by the cacophony of external expectations and internal doubts. It speaks softly, reminding us that while we cannot control the actions of others or the inevitability of parting, we do hold the power over our responses and the meaning we ascribe to our experiences. This is the essence of Viktor Frankl's wisdom, finding purpose amidst suffering, recognizing that the quest for meaning can transform the most profound pain into a catalyst for growth. It's about understanding that letting go is not a sign of weakness, but an act of courage, a choice to embrace life in its messy, beautiful entirety. In this moment, the heart learns to release its grip on what was, making room for the new, the unknown. It is not an abandonment of love or connection, but a redefinition, a shift from attachment to appreciation, from possession to presence. This is the dance of life, the ebb and flow of relationships that shape us, teach us, and ultimately, set us free. As the sacred pause lingers, there is a profound stillness. It is as if the world holds its breath, waiting for the first gentle steps toward change. In this space, the soul finds a quiet strength, a resilience that whispers, "You are enough, you are whole," even amidst the fragments. It's a moment where time seems to stand still, where the heart beats with a newfound rhythm, a rhythm that no longer races with anxiety, but pulses with the quiet assurance of being alive, of being present. And in this stillness, there is a breath, a pause before the exhale, an acknowledgement that this is where transformation begins. Here, in this sacred pause, lies the promise of renewal, the quiet anticipation of a life not yet defined but undeniably unfolding. It is here, in this breathless moment, that the journey truly begins. It's not about acquiring new knowledge or strategies, but rather about embracing a felt truth that resonates deeply within. This is the pivotal moment where the inner shift truly begins. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the weight you've been carrying isn't yours to bear alone. The expectations and judgments that once dictated your every move suddenly seem less relevant, less defining. You find yourself standing at the edge of a new understanding, one where your existence needs no apology. This is where Viktor Frankl's wisdom comes alive, reminding us that even in the depths of grief, there is a dignity that cannot be taken away. It's the dignity of choosing how we respond to the ache, the hurt, the letting go. It's in these choices that we find our true power. Breathing through grief becomes an act of courage, a declaration that you are more than the sum of your past losses. It's a gentle acceptance that while pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. You start to see your scars not as reminders of what was lost, but as emblems of what was endured and overcome. In this new light, you begin to understand that letting go doesn't mean erasing memories or dismissing the impact others have had on your life. Instead, it's about releasing the hold these memories have over your present. Letting go becomes an act of love and respect for yourself, allowing space for new experiences and joys to enter. It's a conscious decision to move forward, not in spite of your past, but because of it. This shift is profound. It marks the beginning of a journey where self-compassion and self-acceptance are your guides. You no longer seek validation from others to feel complete. The realization dawns that your worth is inherent, not contingent on external approval or the roles you play. You breathe more freely, knowing that it's okay to honor your own needs and desires. The fear of disappointing others fades, replaced by a stronger commitment to living authentically. This authenticity becomes a beacon, attracting those who resonate with your newfound clarity and peace. There is a quiet strength in this transformation. It's the strength of a heart that has known both love and loss, and yet continues to beat with hope. It's the resilience of a soul that refuses to be defined by its darkest moments. You learn to navigate the world with a renewed sense of purpose, guided by the belief that every experience, no matter how painful, has contributed to your growth. As you embrace this shift, you start to see connections where there were once divides. You understand that everyone is carrying their own burdens, and this realization fosters empathy and compassion. You become a source of light, illuminating the path for others who are still in the shadows. This is the beauty of letting go, the ability to transform personal pain into a universal message of hope and healing. So, if these words have touched something quiet inside you, if they've stirred a longing for change or a recognition of your own quiet strength, I invite you to share your thoughts. Leave a comment, if you feel like sharing. We're all walking through something, and by sharing our stories, we can illuminate the path for ourselves and for each other. In the gentle embrace of silence, we find ourselves sitting together in a moment that requires no words. Here, there is no need for answers, no rush to fill the void with solutions or explanations. We simply exist, side by side, in a sacred stillness that acknowledges the complexity of letting go. As we navigate this path of release, it becomes clear that the process is not about severing ties or erasing memories. Instead, it's about accepting the ever-changing nature of relationships and understanding that our connections to others are not diminished by distance or time. We carry with us the essence of those we have loved, their imprints woven into the fabric of our being. In this quiet companionship, we recognize that letting go is not synonymous with forgetting. It is an act of gentle acceptance, an acknowledgement that life is a beginning and endings. Each thread, each interaction, contributes to the richness of our existence, leaving us with a mosaic of experiences that shape who we are. The silence we share is profound, a reminder that we are never truly alone in our journey. There are others who have walked this path, who have felt the weight of farewell and the ache of absence. We are united by our humanity, by the shared experience of navigating the complexities of connection and release. In this space, we honor the courage it takes to let go without breaking down. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to our capacity to endure and grow through the most challenging of times. We sit in the stillness, allowing ourselves to feel the full range of emotions that accompany this transformation. There is beauty in the quiet moments, in the unspoken understanding that sometimes, the most profound connections are those that transcend words. We find solace in the knowledge that our stories, though unique, are threads in the larger human experience. As we continue on this journey, we carry the wisdom of Viktor Frankl, who reminds us that even in the face of loss and uncertainty, we have the power to choose our response. In choosing to let go with grace, we honor the love that has woven us together, creating space for new connections and experiences to enrich our lives. This is not the end, but a continuation of our journey. We move forward with a renewed sense of purpose, embracing the impermanence of life and the beauty that lies within it. We find strength in our vulnerability, courage in our openness, and peace in our acceptance. If this reached something quiet inside you, if you find a moment of resonance in this shared silence, you can like the video. In doing so, you create a ripple, a quiet act of connection that might help someone else feel less alone, too. In the quiet moments of our lives, we often find ourselves grappling with the echoes of those we once held close. The essence of letting go is not to erase, but to embrace the beauty of what was and what might still be, in the spaces between our breaths. It is in these pauses, where words fall away, that we meet the purest form of existence. Viktor Frankl teaches us that meaning can be found not in the absence of pain, but in the acceptance of it. And so, as we tread this path of letting go, we learn to carry with us the whispers of laughter, the warmth of shared memories, and the silent agreements of understanding. Letting go is not an act of abandonment, but an act of deep love and respect. It is the recognition that the people we cherish are not bound to us, but are free spirits dancing through our lives. In letting go, we honor their journey as much as our own. We acknowledge the lessons learned, the growth shared, and the love that has woven itself into the very fabric of our being. This release is a sacred offering, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the shadows of solitude, we find a profound connection with ourselves. This solitude is not lonely, but a fertile ground for reflection and renewal. It is in this silence that we meet our true selves, unshackled by the expectations of others. Here, we discover that we are enough, whole and complete, just as we are. The act of letting go becomes a celebration of self-discovery, a journey towards inner peace and contentment. When we let go, we make room for new experiences, for growth, for the unexpected joys that life has to offer. We open our hearts to the possibility of new connections, new stories, and new beginnings. The past does not disappear, but becomes a cherished chapter in the book of our lives, a source of strength and wisdom that guides us forward. In the end, letting go is not a farewell, but a gentle nod to the impermanence of life. It is a recognition that everything is transient, and that this transience is what makes each moment precious. We learn to hold on to what is important, while also embracing the natural ebb and flow of existence. This acceptance brings with it a profound sense of freedom, a liberation from the chains of attachment. So, as we close our eyes to the past and open them to the future, we find solace in the understanding that we are never truly alone. The connections we have made, the love we have given and received, continue to shape us, even as we move forward. And in this realization, we find peace. If this reached something quiet inside you, you can like the video, so someone else might feel less alone, too. Maybe the silence was never empty after all. Thank you for watching. Be part of our community by subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.